All right, Amy, I've heard you talk about wrapping up EC and early potty training. Are these the same thing or two different approaches? And where does the hybrid plan at the end of the EC book fit into the mix? I'm mostly trying to understand exactly what you mean by wrapping up EC. Good question. That's a great question. This has come from years of doing this with parents and figuring out that people need help wrapping it up. And what 3 ways have I come up with that have helped people? The first one is pure EC. The second one is hybrid plan. The third one is early potty training, or just not early. The third one is a potty training experience through what I have in my book. So wrapping up EC is taking steps to completion. It's ditching the daytime diapers at least. It's handing off the baton to the child to start taking responsibility for this. More than in EC, you're really a team, right? With wrapping up EC, you're graduating. You're getting out of diapers during the day. You're getting out of diapers at night. You are working on all the building blocks and giving them the opportunity to learn how to push down their pants and do things like that. So I'm going to use this as an example. So the reason I made my wrapping up EC mini course is I wanted to expand on those 2 items first. How to wrap up with pure EC, which is what I've done with all of my kids. How to wrap up with the hybrid plan. Those 2 are covered in that mini course. So if you're looking for that information, go there and use the code TEATIME15 for 15% off through midnight today. But what I want to say is the third one I do not cover in that mini course, and that is a potty training experience, because that is covered very clearly in my book, the Tiny Potty Training book. So I have 2 books, one for 0 to 18 months, one for 18 months and over. You don't have to have them be 18 months yet to do the experience. We could do a potty training experience at 13 months. We can do a potty training experience at 15 months. Just depends on the child. If they're like my Isadora, it would probably work great. Okay. In any case, it would work to help them know this is what's expected. This is a concerted teaching. My mom is serious about this. My dad is serious about this. Let's do it. Right. So wrapping up EC and early potty training. Okay. So those aren't really the same thing. Early potty training is a whole nother thing too. This is when you're potty training, usually between 12 to 20, 22 months. It is not EC. EC is not potty training. EC is a gradual process of communication about elimination. There is no training required. There is teaching the building blocks for independence within it, but it is not a concerted potty training situation. When you do EC, you want to wrap up EC. If you do it with pure EC, which is covered in the mini course, you're basically still doing EC. You're not potty training still. Early potty training and the potty training experience are more of a hands-on if you're having resistance, if you've not done any EC at all, if you have a child who's just simply not really that interested or capable of like making this a priority at the moment because you haven't made it a priority, which is as subtle as that. It's not a blaming thing. It's just, we have a lot going on. It's okay. Early potty training and a potty training experience are a training session, usually lasting around 3 to 7 days, where you are only focusing on this and teaching it. And you are directly, it's like ripping a Band-Aid off, directly changing the position of, we've used the diaper as a toilet. Now we are not. Now we're using the toilet as a toilet. So that's the difference, right? EC is the diaper as a backup. The toilet is preferred. Potty trained is we put all of our pee in the potty all the time. So sometimes people need to wrap up EC with a potty training experience because, yeah, we have some accidents and they're not really clear about doing it all the time. Well, doing a potty training experience with my book, even if you've done EC, does not mean you're a failure. It means, hey, I'm sending a clear message. We are done. And now with EC, it was a little laid back. You know, some of the pee wouldn't go in the potty. Now all the pee is going in the potty. And this is how you do it. This is how we get it there. This is how we communicate about it now. The hybrid plan fits in. It's the second thing I cover in the mini course, because I found that some children benefit from a 1 to 2 day naked teaching experience. That's like a little mini potty training boot camp kind of a thing. Okay, so you've got the pure EC aspect of it, and then you're inserting and injecting a couple of days of concerted training And then you have maintenance after that for mobile babies and young toddlers. After we do the hybrid plan, the experience of a couple of days of teaching to get to the potty, to push down the pants, we've got a maintaining of that, which is still not potty training. It's still gradual, okay? Gradual as in, we're going to wrap it up sometime between 12 and 18 months on a gradual pace, depending on the child's temperament, the situation at home, and all that, okay? So hopefully that answers that.